incarcerated. I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Read.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Read has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wild, and you must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's gonna be quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
All right, welcome, guys. Impromptu live. We're all here because, in case you guys didn't hear, the SJC is supposed to come out with their verdict today, and I'm seeing people in the chat saying that it's been denied. Let me just make sure. Let me show. Why did it come out so early? They said 10 o'clock. Hold on. Karen Read. Okay. SJC ruling is out. It is denied. Okay. Okay. All right. So, let me pull this up. All right. So, denied from Twitter. Let's see. All right. So if you guys didn't hear, the SJC was scheduled to come out at 9 o'clock this morning, with their ruling on whether or not to, overturn the dismissal or overrule overrule Auntie Bev's decision not to dismiss the charges against her, at least counts 1 and 3, because the jury voted to acquit her. And apparently they have not done that. They have decided, according to, I haven't read this yet, but just to be clear, this is what the expected outcome was. Like, this is not a surprise, etc. And I see no news outlets have reported it yet, but again, you know, Twitter is news. Anyone with a Twitter account like Rich here, who's an attorney, can write. So he says the SJ ruling is out. Karen's Read petition is denied. Unfortunate, but as I predicted. So it says this petition thus raises the question: can post-trial accounts of jurors' private deliberations that are inconsistent with their public communications in court render the declaration of a mistrial improper, or constitute an acquittal where the jury did not announce or record a verdict in open court? We conclude that they cannot. The jury clearly stated during deliberations that they had not reached a unanimous verdict on any of the charges, and they could not do so. The jury did not clearly had not reached a unanimous verdict on any of the charges. Did I miss where they said that they couldn't reach a unanimous verdict on any of the charges? I did not see that in there at all. Did you guys? I must have missed that, where they said they couldn't reach unanimous verdicts on any of the charges. That's just untrue. Only after being discharged did some individual jurors communicate a different supposed outcome, more like 5. contradicting their prior notes. Such post-trial disclosures cannot retroactively alter the trial's outcome, either to acquit or to convict. Accordingly, we affirm the trial judge's denial of the motion to dismiss and the defense request for a post-trial juror inquiry. So, there you go. I mean, it's just a straight up lie. That is not what they said at all. It's clearly not what they said. I don't know what else to say. The SJC just made something up. That never happened. It's completely. Let's see if we can find that anywhere. Let's see with the jury. Let's see. So again, the exact language used here is, let me pull the save images so we can make it bigger. All right. So it says this petition raises the question, can post-trial, let me get my highlighter ready. Post-trial are inconsistent with their public communications in court, render their blah, 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 blah. We conclude they cannot. The jury clearly stated during deliberations they hadn't reached a unanimous verdict on any of the charges. Any of the charges. So that's what they're saying there. So now let's go and read what they actually said. All right. Can't cover up. Jury acquitted, not guilty. Okay, let's see what they say. Again, I also interviewed a juror who is the same guy who was interviewed by Phelps, who told me that they had voted to acquit on counts 1 and 3, and they did it so many times that they just stopped they stopped asking about it, he said. And that, what else did he say? He said, I'd have to go read the whole thing, go listen to it again. But basically, let's see, I'm trying to find the exact wording in these letters, because nowhere in there did it say anything about I want to read the, okay. Nowhere in there does it say anything about it. All right. Juror A told me she was seeing inaccurate reports about the split. Juror A told me that the result of the deliberation was the jury unanimously agreed that Karen Read is not guilty on count 1. Unanimously agreed. Okay. But again, let me read this statement here from, they said that the jury clearly stated during deliberations that they had not reached a unanimous verdict on any of the charges. So we need to read that whole freaking note that they passed, that ChatGPT thing that they passed to Auntie Bev. Let me pull that up. All right. Juror note to Judge Kearney. Deadlock. Let's see what their exact note.
Note from the jury. Dear Judge Kearney, I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury that despite our exhaustive review of the evidence and our diligent consideration of all disputed evidence, we have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict.
It doesn't say on any of the charges. Again, the SJC thing says that the jury clearly stated during deliberations they had not reached a unanimous verdict on any of the charges. Any.
Signed by the foreperson. So I want to hear from counsel your view on whether there has been due and thorough deliberation. So let's start with the Commonwealth.
My answer would be no, Your Honor. This simply hasn't been sufficient time yet.
And what does the defense say?
We believe that there has been sufficient.
All right, so I'll hear from both of you in more
That's
detail.
it?
Mr. Lally, I will hear you.
Your Honor,
That's not the
jury
right one. Okay,
received this case.
that's the wrong one. This is before they did the 𝗃𝗏 one. Okay, let me get out of that one. That's the wrong one. Give me a sec. Okay. Impasse. That's the one okay, here it is.
We're back on the record on the Karen Read, Your Honor. We've got a question from the jury.
All right, so Mr. Lally, I'd like to hear
this is
from
the
the Commonwealth
question.
first about doing thorough deliberations.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last one.
I'd like to hear from the Commonwealth first about your view on whether the jury has conducted due and thorough deliberations.
Your Honor, while I understand that they have been at this for a while of testimony, and while I believe they've been out to them, so while they have been at it with some
They said that the implication
Ordinary jury, I've never seen a note like.
is what 𝗃𝗏 Rodriguez is for. We asked the court to get it.
Yeah. All right. I think this has been an extraordinary jury. I've never seen a note like this reporting to be in an impasse. I do find that they're now, with the additional time that they went out without coming back Friday saying that they were deadlocked, is due and thorough deliberation. So I'm going to give 𝗃𝗏 Rodriguez.
Okay, this is before she gives. Okay, all right. So one more chance. That's the wrong one. I got to find Judge Kearney declares mistrial. That's what I need. Declares mistrial. Okay, I'll find it.
Judge Kearney, despite our rigorous efforts, we continue to find ourselves at an impasse. Our perspectives on the evidence are starkly divided. Some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof, establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Conversely, others find the evidence fails to meet this standard and does not sufficiently establish the necessary elements of the charges.
What?
The deep division is not due to a lack of effort or diligence, but rather a sincere adherence to our individual principles and moral convictions. To continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs. I'm not going to do that to you folks. Your service is complete. I'm declaring a mistrial in this case. I'll be in to see you
He's only
privately in a
talking
few
about.
minutes.
Okay, again, I
We
want to
establish the necessary element charges based on the evidence are starkly divided. Some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof, establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
some members of the jury, but he doesn't specify what charges. Again, what did he say?
Some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof.
Some members of the jury believes the evidence surpasses the what?
Our perspectives on the evidence are starkly divided. Some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof.
Surpasses the burden of proof. So again, there were multiple charges within count 2. Okay.
Establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. So he doesn't say which charges. And again, a big thing here, according to the juror I spoke with, 2 of the jurors wanted to ask Judge Kearney, are we allowed to acquit on 2 and hang on the 3rd? And the foreman, Ryan, said no. A former cop who apparently was just appointed the foreman by Judge Kearney out of the blue. He just got to be the foreman, and his name was not in the lottery, and he was not eligible to be picked as an alternate as a result of that. He's the only one who wasn't eligible to be picked by an alternate, and he specifically acted as the gatekeeper between the jurors who wanted to ask Judge Kearney a question and the judge. That he kind of took that upon himself, according to the jurors. I'm just saying.
Conversely, others find the evidence fails to meet this standard and does not sufficiently establish the necessary elements of the charges. The deep division is not due to a lack of effort or diligence, but rather a sincere adherence to our individual principles and moral convictions.
So there you go. There you go. So again, like I said, this is what I was predicting. What happened? I'm like, I even on my bus stop live this morning, I said this, like, the chances that I'm overturning this were never, high to begin with. Like, it was an underdog bet, if you will. But no big deal. It's like, I go, worst case scenario, we're right back where we started. We're doing the trial all over again. The only difference this time is around is now we have to hear from the Sullivan sluts again. That's the only difference. Because if there was no murder charge, we wouldn't have to hear from the Sullivan sluts or the kids. The kids only are there to testify for the murder because they're there to establish that they've been fighting for a long time and she wanted to do this and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't an accident. So we were going to hear from all the McAlberts with the manslaughter charge anyway. A reason that I thought that it would be better for her to have these dropped is because I think they're more likely to, have a compromise. For if there's 3 charges, they're like, well, what if we just, murder? Okay, I'm not convinced she murdered him, but what if we just do one of the lesser ones? Whatever, feel bad. They feel bad for John's. They sitting there watching John's mom cry in front of him and watching Paul, maybe some of them like the look of his crotch. I don't know. But, they sit there and they got to watch this and maybe whatever, well, feel bad for her. It's really sad. So whatever, we'll just call it manslaughter. Whereas if it was just manslaughter, I feel like they would be less likely to convict. If it was just manslaughter. I still am not the least, to be clear, I'm not the least bit worried about this. We're right back to where we started. Fucking begins on April 1st. That's when the fucking begins, when the jury gets impaneled. That'll take a few weeks. And then we do it all over again. And Karen Read's team is prepared to do this no matter what and see it through. And guess what? So are we, right? So are we. We're not going anywhere. We're still going to be out there. We're still going to be, they're still going to have to put up the buffer zone because we're still going to want to be out there protesting and making our voices heard and showing support for John O'Keefe and for Karen Read, of course, etc. So, again, I don't know what took them so long to come up with this decision. That's it. Yeah, we'll just keep raising money. It's like, that's fine. Kick her while she's down. You act like we don't got money. We ain't broke bitches like them. We can start, like, we've raised over $600,000 for Karen Read, and we're still gonna get, like, come on, let's go. Let's fuck. You guys want to fuck? We can fuck. Let's go. Let's go. And yeah, my case too, but we'll deal with my case afterwards. But I think they have a motion to dismiss. Their motion to dismiss, I'm told, is being argued on March 4th, and mine is March 5th. So that's pretty wild. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting record amount of donations today for the Karen Read Legal Defense Fund as a result of this. And again, I don't know what the hell took them so long. It took them 3 months for this shit. 3 months. Let's see. How can I find, does anybody have the whole one? Let me try to find it on Twitter. All right. Okay. Got the whole thing here. I got the whole thing there. Okay. 35 pages. Holy shit. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I mean, I've seen the most important part. So there's that. "3 months to regurgitate what Bev said exactly. Oh, hello. Thank you for calling me by my, that's my second chosen. Doctor's number 1. Dr. Daddy will do, but either one will do. I'm so mad. See, I'm not mad. It's like, yeah, what else is new? Like, that's the way I look at this. What else is new? But it's not like, I'll be mad if they convict her. That's when I'll be mad. I'll be, what the fuck? I'm mad that they even hung at all on the second charge. I was glad to know that they acquitted on the other 2. This doesn't change shit. We all know that they acquitted on counts 1 and 3, and they're going to acquit again. They're not going to convict her on 1 and 3 ever. right? We're doing the manslaughter thing, and they're going to come back bigger and stronger. And the second one, they know exactly what they're doing. They have more experts. I'm disappointed, but I'm kind of used to it at all. I knew this was fucked up ever since they didn't drop it after the Google search. I'm like, oh, they're really going to keep doing this. Okay. They're really going to keep doing this. So again, I'll take a quick look at this, but I can, I can imagine what's on here. Jay Georges. This is the same guy who denied the free speech zone. So this guy's a fucking moron. He's some DEI hire, as you're going to see. And he's just a fucking moron. The defendant challenges the denial of her motion. Okay. Did they say how each justice voted? The jury deliberated for 5 days. They firmly believe that the evidence surpasses. Some members firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof establishing the elements of the charges, while others did not. They described their views as rooted in a sincere adherence to their individual principles, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's that word charges. That's how they're going to get, that's how they kind of came up with this. But again, they had multiple affidavits here from jurors who all said this. And by the way, not a single person came out, not a single juror came out and said, that's not true. That's not true. All you had to do was poll them. Again, they're not actually seeking justice, though. Okay, so they go through all the back. So they actually, by page 4 out of 35, they've already denied this and explain why. Okay, so they go through all the background. 𝗬𝗟 Rodriguez, although the transcript does not state the precise time deliberation resumed on Monday morning, based on prior proceedings, it appeared the jury had deliberated closer to 24 or 25 hours by this point. Okay. After receiving the third note, the judge informed counsel the jury's at an impasse. Okay. I am going to do that, folks. Declared a mistrial. She discharged the jury back to the deliberation room. At no point during this discussion did defense counsel object to the judge's declaration of a mistrial or express disagreement with the outcome. Well, how could they? They had no idea that they didn't talk to these jurors until afterwards, who felt the need to reach out to them to let them know about the injustice. So the fact that they're even including that in there, post-trial events, according to affidavits submitted by the defense counsel, Juror A said that there were inaccurate reports. All right. Let me see if I can get a. Hold on. All right. I'm just curious. I wonder how Karen Read's feeling right now. I'm genuinely curious. Like, knowing her, she's expecting this, and she's ready to fight. She always is. She's very prepared. So she will fight on. She is completely innocent. She knows it. She knows that she'll never be convicted by any jury, and that she has great lawyers and an army of people behind her who are there to support her. Well, this, I blame, of course, the foreman is 1000% to blame for this. And people have posted his name. They're allowed to do that. I haven't done that. I could if I wanted to, but I haven't. And I just have noticed, because I'm not even feeding him that. Oh, he's doxing the jurors, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doxing anyone. Your name's out there. People put your name out there. That's not doxing. Doxing's, by the way, when you put so here's his social security number and here's his fucking address. That's doxing. Go to his house. Here's his private cell phone number, all this stuff. That's doxing. Doxing is not saying a person's name and pointing out the fact that they were a cop. It wasn't the jury's language. It was the foreman. It was actually ChatGPT. That's what it was. So anyway, like I said, it is what it is. I'm not that worried about it. Do I seem worried? No. Does Karen Read seem worried? No. We're going to do this all over again, just like I knew we would. And we're going to win, period. And it's going to be fucking awesome. And it's going to be great. So don't be the least. No, Uncivil Law did not call me back, but that phone number called me back and was like, so you left I'm calling you back. You left a long message and I didn't understand it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was looking for Kurt from Uncivil Law. And they're like, yeah, I don't know who that is. And then that was the end of that. So, anyway, anybody else got anything to say? Let me see. I put the turtle chat up there. If anybody donated, I'll just read them out loud. I don't want to miss anyone if you did. We'll talk more about this tonight on the show for sure. Gina sends $10 and goes, sad news, but it ain't over till fat Morrissey squeals. You got that right. You got that right. Thank you. Amy sends $50 and goes, I'm watching live from 20,000 feet on a flight to the Bahamas. Thanks for covering this, Turtleboy. I can't wait for both of your motions to dismiss to hit the docket. Free Karen Read, free Turtleboy. Mine will probably be up by tomorrow. So we got that going for us too. And again, if my charges don't get dismissed, it's not like this is just standard. You file, you know what I mean? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you take it to trial. And it is what it is. I'd rather not go to trial. But if we have to, we have to. So anyway, so thank you for that one. Next up after that, Susan sends $25 and goes, Dear Dr. Daddy, apology donor. Saturday night I cut and pasted in the little TV chat box the wrong long message without checking. I'm red with embarrassment. The message was supposed to be short. Were there discussions that I missed on how Proctor got the pieces of taillight from the Sally Port to the scene? AJ got some testimony about Proctor and the portfolio he carried, even out of the garage door in the inverted video. Was that for the jury to make a connection within the pieces? Okay, I don't know. Is there any talk about how he may have done it? Thank you. Our leather-wearing, tree-leaning, deep-thinking doctor, free Turtleboy, free Karen Read, just for John O'Keefe. Was there discussions that I missed on how he got the pieces of the taillight to the Sally Port scene? No, there was none. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the point is that we don't have a whole fucking video of the Canton police garage and this guy's diddling around with the taillight. He's on video in the taillight and they inverted it specifically so you thought that it wouldn't be that part of the taillight, which is devious, and an honest prosecution wouldn't feel the need to do that on purpose. Duh. So it doesn't matter. I mean, all you need to know is it got back there. There's a bunch of people in the garage, some of who are unknown. And then taillight that was not found when the Canton police searched the scene earlier on was suddenly found when the CERT team showed up. And we don't know who was on the CERT team. So that's all. You don't have to prove who put the taillight there. But it wasn't there at 7 a.m. and it was there later on. And they have no explanation for that. Uncivil Law tried to talk about it on Melanie Little last night and she shut him down. Yeah. I mean, why doesn't he just message me? I messaged him on Twitter. He didn't get back to me. Oh, who cares about them? This is the best they got. That we're right back where we started. This makes them feel like, oh, we got this huge win. Okay. She tried calling me out in the comments. I gotta see that. But yeah, it's an impromptu live there, Lindsay. So I thought, just if it was good news, we'd all be celebrating. It'd be awesome. But like I said in the morning bus stop live, which make sure you follow my other Facebook account because Clarence Woods Emerson is suspended for a hot minute for like till March 8th. Like I said in the live this morning, you know, I'm prepared to lose. And if we lose, what's the big deal? We're right back where we started. It's not like she's convicted. You know, we're going to trial. We're going to trial. And the only difference this time around is, well, it's the same as last time. So last time, I think, was obviously proved to all 12 jurors that she didn't murder him. That was proven. They all agreed. So there's no chance in hell she's ever going to be convicted of those things, ever. So whatever, we'll do it again. It's going to be the same exact outcome, you know, and hopefully this time there will not be, on count 2, any split verdict. All right. Hopefully this time the jurors don't kind of show their poker face about, imagine, maybe there will be this time around. Maybe the jury this time around will show their poker faces like they did last time and be disgusted by all the messages and blah, 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 blah. Maybe that'll happen again. I don't know. But if it does happen again and they once again make alternate jurors of the people who are visibly disgusted by Michael Proctor, might be onto something there. All right, so thank you for that one. Do we have any other turtle chats I got to read here? Let me just refresh. I don't want to miss anyone. I think this is from the other night. Carrie Taylor sent 25 and goes, "Oh my God, the buffalo chicken, real Pepsi, spicy calzone with extra peppers is my go-to diet, and I'm on a diet." Okay, excellent. Thank you, Carrie. Let's see. Do we have any others here? Stephanie sends $10 and goes, "Can you comment on why you said the feds are definitely still investigating the other night? Did you get new info you can't share?" So I do know as a fact. I can't reveal too much, but I know as a fact, let's just put it that way, that the feds are actively still investigating this case and it is not closed. And we will see what comes out. Did the foreman ever confirm the actual voting result? No, he has not spoken on record. The only thing he came out with is an affidavit saying, "Oh my God, I'm so scared of Turtleboy." That's all he put, anonymously, of course. The other Facebook account is just Aidan Kearney. It's got my mugshot on it. I shared it on the Clarence Woods Emerson page today. So go follow that for the next month or so. Yeah, don't write any notes about jurors about the way you're leaning, because I think they read your notebooks too. Feds are watching is stuck in my head. I know. They're never going to stop watching, Lauren. All right, cool. Let me just refresh this. I don't want to miss anyone. Brit Happens sent $10 and says, "The double jeopardy violation is brought to you by the letter S, taking the note from charge to charges. What a shame." Let's hype it up for Karen. She now has the opportunity to prove her innocence again to the public. Excellent. Yes, she does. And that can happen once again. So that's going to be great. Yeah, let's see. All right. Anyone else got anything to say? Read footnote 12, they're saying. All right, I'll go read footnote 12. What's this say? A screenshot. Where's footnote 12? The defendant has not argued that the evidence presented at her first trial was legally insufficient to sustain a conviction. They have it, and thus we do not address the issue. Okay. As the trial judge observed in a memorandum of decision denying the defendant's motion to dismiss, it is particularly striking that the jury notes provided no inkling of agreement on any of the charges. Additionally, the notes did not request clarification on whether a partial verdict could be returned. This absence is particularly significant given the evident care that went into writing the notes and how articulately they expressed the jurors' disagreement. Well, I have been told by, this has been alleged by other jurors, by the way, that the that note written by the foreman was actually written by AI, by ChatGPT. But so I'm just saying. So like they're talking about the notes, a machine wrote those. Okay. Dude, where's footnote 12? They're saying somebody's saying check out footnote 12. Okay. It is difficult to imagine that a competent defense attorney, upon learning that some members of the jury firmly believe the evidence proved the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt, would request that the jury be instructed to return verdicts on any charges where agreement had been reached. As others have recognized, the defendant may have a tactical reason for not requesting the trial court to question the jury about a partial verdict, and trial judges should not be required to inquire about partial verdicts on their own initiative. So it is difficult to imagine that a competent defense attorney, upon learning that some members of the jury firmly believed the evidence proved the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt, so they're really sticking with that part of the note, would request that the jury be instructed to return verdicts on any charges where agreement had been reached. Why? Huh? I don't get what that's supposed to mean. Juror C did not disclose information indicating whether the jury had unanimously agreed that the defendant was not guilty on count 3. What? For the purposes of adjudicating this motion to dismiss, the trial judge accepted the purported juror's statements as true and accurate. For purposes of so we similarly proceed from the assumption that the affidavits are accurate. Clearly you're not, because you're not dismissing it. All right. Whatever. All right. Let's see what else everyone else is saying. Let me check some turtle chats here. Sandra gives $50. Thank you, Sandra, and says, this doesn't surprise me. It doesn't matter. Karen will win. On another note, I found it hilarious when Bev said go to the sidebar last week to discuss the feds. When Hank came back, he was all red and seemed out of breath. Yeah, that wasn't going well for him, that sidebar. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. It doesn't matter. Karen's going to win either way. I've never been so sure of anything in my life. Is what it is. Good versus evil. Let's do this. We got all the facts on our side. All of them. Everything's on our side. All right, cool. Let me see if I have any cash apps here. No. Okay. I'm just kind of wondering what people are saying on social media. What's Melanie saying about this? All right, so she's reading over basically the whole motion. That's kind of her thing. Reading over the whole. I don't have the attention span for that. But anyway, she's pissed. She doesn't agree. I mean, obviously, you know, she's a soldier for justice, so that's not surprising that she feels that way. But yeah, I mean, the odds of us winning this it was an underdog bet. It's never happened before. It's never happened before. Andrea Burkhart tweeted that out beforehand. Like, don't get your hopes up. Do not get your hopes up. So, is what it is. I think that they really seem to be focusing on that one line, charges, plural. I mean, that seems to be what they're really banking on, and they just getting back to that. But her chat suck? What was wrong with the chat? Well, that's not her fault. The chat sucks. If the Commonwealth had any decency, they would drop the charges. Exactly. But they don't. We're not dealing with decent people, you know? Stay live for the minute. We never get to see you during the day anymore. What do you do now? Hello. I'm just reading some comments here, then I got to get back to work. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Beto Roast Take as well. Yeah, I watched Emily Baker last night. She said most likely they would not approve their request because it would be the easiest thing to do. Exactly. It is the easiest thing to do. You wrong, SJC. You know, and again, we're right back where we started, aren't we, folks? Right back where we started. Now, my motion to dismiss is supposed to be filed by the end of today. So stay tuned for that. Will your dismissal be impounded? We don't know yet, depending on, like there's some text messages from Michael Proctor and Jennifer McCabe that we've gotten in discovery that are not public. And I believe they're under a protective order now. So we have to find out if we can enter them as exhibits because they're part of our motion to dismiss. Hey, what's up? Will says, I don't expect her to overturn Bev's decision, but I hope they'd order the jurors be heard individually on the record. Well, then they'd be overturning her decision, though, because her decision was not to pull the jurors on their decision, not to bring them back, that this is case closed. Case closed. But, all right, cool. Anybody else got anything to say? Before we call it a day, Melanie Little, what's she saying? You know, if Karen Read's team has asked anyone inside Fairview was wearing an Apple Watch. No, I don't think anyone inside Fairview is going to cooperate with them. So there's that. Okay. Yes, the 24-hour stream to raise money. I'm going to try to do that over February vacation. Yes, exactly. Let's fuck. Like, it's time to fuck again. Get it ready. You know, get your dicks out. Let's go. Time to fuck. Coming up on that in like less than 2 months. We're doing this all over again. And this is like the shortest month. This is February. In like 2.5 weeks. It'll be goddamn March, won't it? There you go. Time to fuck. Let's go. Fuck. Let's see. Okay. Let's Dance. Yeah, they're pushing this whole like Jen McCabe took a polygraph thing, which is completely untrue. I think Karen, like personally, I mean, Karen's probably got bigger fish to fry and it's inadmissible. If I were her, I would just fucking do a polygraph test. That's what I would do and just throw it in their face. It would be inadmissible, of course, but I'm sure she'd pass it. I'm sure she'd pass it. But, you know, I don't know how those work. I don't know if they like scrutinize every question. If it's like, if it just comes up as true or untrue, if there's like some in between, if it wasn't anything that was like 100% on the Richter scale, wherever that thing is, you know, Hank would be like, well, this is 98% true that she got this one right. She, you know, I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I feel like whatever they would do with that, if she took a polygraph, Hank would just try to be like, that's not what it says, you know? Okay, Sage gives $10 and goes, they needed to mention how Bev told the jury they can't come back until they're unanimous on all 3 charges. That is Bev's fault. Did she actually say that, though? Again, it's just, whatever. It's over. On to the next thing. That's what I say. It's done. I don't like complaining about the refs. I'm not that guy. Like, it's just, I don't like losing like that and then complaining about it. Like, you just go and win. Go win the next fucking game. Go win the next fucking game. That's what I say. But, all right, cool. Anybody else? Oh, is your birthday, Erica? Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Or belated birthday. If I missed it, I apologize. I'm not good with birthdays. I'm not good with birthdays. The problem with birthdays is everyone has one. And there's like 1 million people who have the same birthday. So I apologize for that. But happy fucking birthday. Because you're a real one. A real one. Okay. How much did this appeal cost her team? Good question. Probably at least 20 grand, I guess. At least. because Marty Weinberg was brought on just for the appeal. Again, he did the best he could, but it is what it is. Is what it is. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, I'll be on tonight with a more thorough analysis of this all. And yeah, fuck it. To me, this means nothing. Like, we just go on. You know, we gear up, strengthen our support. Exactly, man. Exactly. They had to try. We got exactly, Nikki. They had to try. They got these people coming forward with this information. Of course they're going to try. Of course they're going to try. Because what's the harm if you don't try? Were they supposed to, you know what I mean? What's the harm in trying? Okay. Worst case scenario, we're right back where we started, right? I mean, that's where you got to look at this. We're right back where we started. Okay. Still going to be found guilty. I'm still going to be found not guilty, to be clear. Still going to be found not guilty of all charges. Still not going to be found guilty. And all this is going to do is just inspire people to donate to the defense fund more. That's it. Every setback, they just, want to help more. That's all we do, folks. So anyway, yeah. Anybody else got anything to say? Let them troll. I mean, if that's all they got is we're right back where we were before, that's a victory for them. A victory is a goddamn mistrial. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, guys, anybody else got anything to say? Let me just refresh the turtle chats. Okay, we're good. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go get started with the rest of my day, but I hope you guys have a great one. And we'll talk to you guys. We'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.